Students of Success, Dr. Mike here. Today will be the final installment of our 8-step process on achieving our dreams, working towards our goals, and living the best life possible. At the beginning, we talked about, just a quick recap, about getting angry about your situation, deciding where you want to be, writing it down, going out and actually touching and feeling things, understanding basically what you want, and then going out and having an understanding that it is on its way to where you're at. So now today we're going to talk about the actual process. Basically all of that was the mental, the thinking part. So you just set the stage of everything that we want to achieve towards that dream. Now we're going to break that down into the action steps, into the focus of what we want to be able to achieve and how we do it. Too many people do those first steps and then just sit back and do nothing, expecting it just to appear, like some kind of a genie or something like that. It's not going to work like that. We have to be able to have a plan in place that we focus on, little steps by steps. And the best way that I'll address it like this. The massive action plan that we will be putting is, let's just take health, for instance. Let's take sports. Whenever I coach sports, too many people focus on winning. They see this goal, the prize, the dream, and then along the way, they don't master the fundamentals. So in sports, you should never focus on the goal. You should focus on mastering the fundamentals. And if you focus every day, I have a soccer academy, if you focus every day on touches on the ball, how to strike it, on all your moves, on your agility, on your strength, and all that type of stuff, winning becomes a result of those things. But when we focus on winning, we don't focus on all the things that get us there. The same thing is in education. Mastering the basics. You can't go on to reading and writing and all these things if you don't master the letters and the sounds and all that type of stuff. The same thing goes all the way up. You focus on, I want this job, I want this job, I want this career, I want all these things. Don't focus on that. Focus on mastering all those little basics. Then focus on adding value. And then that goal of that career will appear. It will be a result of all those things. And the same thing in relationships. You don't focus on going out and, I'm going to get married, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Focus on the little tiny things every day that you can do, not just in a romantic relationship, but just in friends in general. Just little things with no expectations. Just little tiny things. Those things all add up, and the result is having a successful relationship. So when you want to achieve your ultimate dream, now your dream that you have for your life is probably going to be broken down into multiple goals across those 3 different areas like that. And then within those areas, there might be additional goals. But we're going to focus on one thing. We're going to focus on achieving a life goal here. I'll use mine as an example. My dream is to be able to have freedom. And I've achieved that relatively by being able to teach online and do whatever I want. But part of that dream, one of my goals, is to be able to travel the country with my wife, to be able to see places, but be able to work from my mobile home or wherever I'm at. No matter if it's at the Grand Canyon, or if it's in Florida, or if it's in Texas, or Alaska, or wherever. Being able to have free. The dream is freedom. The goal is to do that. So how do I get to that point? We have to break that down, that goal, into targets. Part of the targets to get to that goal of being able to travel might be finding the trailer, finding my wife an online job, looking at vehicles that are going to pull it, looking at the things that go into it. And then once we have those things, let's just say a trailer, now we have to break it down into steps. We want to break it down into the things that you'll have to do to be able to find that trailer. Maybe there's a certain weight, there's a certain color, there's a certain place that you want to look up. All the little interactions, all the little details of it. You want to that. So basically, when you have your dream, you break it down into a goal, and you break that goal down into targets, and then you break that target down into steps to achieve those targets, to achieve that goal, to live that dream. And once you do that on a piece of paper, you want to put at the top your dream. Underneath it, put down your goal. And then underneath it, bullet points on all the things that you need to do, the major things, to be able to achieve that goal. Then take each one of those targets and then create steps on what you need to do to break it down to the smallest little thing. I'm big on writing stuff down so you can cross it off and have success. Each one of those targets need to be broken down into steps. And these steps are like a ladder that will lead you up to your goal. But when you break things down into the smallest level, forget about your goal, forget about your dream, focus on the steps that will allow you to achieve your target. And when you start focusing your life in a positive manner on all of these steps, you will start to hit your targets. Then when you start to hit your targets, your goal will come into view. And then once you hit your goal, then you start living your dream. So that would be step 7. That's how you break it down. And basically, it would look something like this. There's your ultimate dream. There's your goal. There's your targets. On the other page, we break each one of these targets down into steps. And when you break everything down, and then you hang it on the wall, and you see it every day, it becomes like magic. Because imagine if you wanted this goal, I want this, but you don't think of all the things that go into it. You're like, I've been after this goal for 10 years and nothing's happened. That's because you're not focusing on all of the steps that will allow you to get there. You have no targets. If you don't have no targets to hit, the goal will become, it's unachievable. So this is the action step. And the final one is to be able to track your process and celebrate every little step. Once you get something, celebrate it. If one of those steps was go to a dealership, walk through a trailer, just so you can see it and touch it and feel it, just like one of the other steps, check that off your list. Because now you've just made things become real. You've given it a physical structure. Check it off. So now you know exactly on all of those little your targets are being hit that will help you get to your goal. So, just to recap, whenever we go down through these of achievement, the first thing you want to do is decide what you hate in your life. Maybe I hate that feeling of people having control over me and being able to tell me what to do and being locked in an office and do a job. Hate it. I was a business owner for 25 years, and I didn't own the business. The business owned me. I worked for the business. It controlled me because I had to be there all the time. I hated it. So I decided my dream is to have freedom. So then I decided, what do I want? I want to be able to teach from home. I want to be able to have freedom to go and do what I want to do. Work hard. I work for multiple universities, and I work basically 7 days a week. But at least I've achieved that dream, that goal of freedom. Okay? Then the next one was writing it down. Write it down so it becomes real. The next thing is go and touch the things that you want. What is it what's the goal that you want? What is the place that you want to be? Remember I said go to a dealership, touch a car, pick pictures out, make a dream board, have all of that. The next one is being able to feel the feelings. What does it, close your eyes every morning and feel what it would be like to be sitting in that car on that vacation. Those feelings are going to allow you to be able to become so crystal clear on what you want and be able to drive you in that direction. And then step 6 was have the belief that it's coming. No matter what, it's been ordered, it's coming, it's going to be mine. It's just sitting out there. It's waiting, but it's waiting on the universe's time for me. Then number 7 is when we start to put some action behind it. This is whenever we start to take it and breaking it down all the way from the dream to goals to targets to steps. And if you work that process and you get really good at it, it won't even be steps. It'll be like an elevator to the top. This is when the magic starts to happen, because when you get a mindset that focuses on that step 7 for everything in your life, when you don't even have to write it down anymore, you automatically in your head, you break it down. Like, there's my goal. Okay, these are the things I need to be able to do. Here's the steps, and boom, you start taking those steps immediately by making phone calls, by going and talking to people, by going and touching things, by going out, and it automatically can happen. Some of these goals can happen in a day. They can happen in a week. They can happen so fast. And they all feed up to our ultimate dream. And sometimes the whole aspect, the whole totality of that dream might not come true, because our dream has to be huge. And as you start to go through this, each one of your dreams and goals are going to adjust and change a little bit as you grow and you get more experience. I've talked about experience in the past. The more things that you see, maybe after I get to this goal and I start traveling around, I'm like, you know what? I really don't like this. I would rather go and stay in hotels. Or, I've seen America. Maybe I want to travel overseas and want to do things. New goals will start to pop up. Then we'll have targets, and then we'll have steps. Like I said, the magic part comes whenever you start to then celebrate every one of the little things. Whenever you get that good feeling that you've achieved something on that list, it just like, it snowballs and goes and goes and goes. So overall, what I talked about today, it's just like sports, it's like your career, it's like relationships. Focus on all of the basics and fundamentals. Everybody's looking for that Hail Mary pass. They're looking for that, like, how many people do you know, and you may have done it yourself, if there's a system, maybe you read a book or anything on a process, and you go in there and you're like, I'm going to skip 1 and 2. That's all basic. Even when you're doing instructions to put something together. But then when you get to step 7, 8, 9, 10, you didn't do what was in step 1 or 2 because it seems so basic and crazy that just screws up the entire works. You got to build that solid foundation. I know some of this might sound a little bit crazy, but this is the way it is. And this whole process, my wife's a school teacher, and I'm like, and I was on the school board. Something like this it's not taught in schools. Why is it not taught in schools on this basic success formula foundation to children? Is it like they don't want them to succeed? You can pump them full of all these hard skills, but nobody teaches them any of the things that I'm talking about. And like I said, I talk about these for my future generations. If it helps you, it helps you. If you listen to it, great. If not, then whatever. But someday I want because this whole philosophy of this type of stuff is fading away. Just fading away. And it's all the TikTok generation of quick. And I want it. Well, it's not the way it works. We have to know what we want, and then we have to have a plan to be able to get there. And we have to focus on the basics and the fundamentals on every aspect of our life. And when you do that, the goals and the dreams are a result. So if anything, don't focus on your dreams, don't focus on your goals, focus on the ways that you're going to get there, then those things will come like magic to you. And remember, there's only so many days left in your life. You don't know what it is. You don't know when your time's up. So you want to be able to live the best life possible by doing processes like this on everything. Everything that you do in your life. If it's even going and washing your car, that's the goal. The goal is to have a clean car. Well, how am I going to do that? What are some targets? Well, I got to get the hose, I got to get the water, I got to get the soap, I got to do this, I got to do that. Think about it. I got to get the soap. Well, to get the soap, I got to ask this person because I know that they have the right thing, or the wax, or this or that, so when you focus on all those things, you end up with a clean car. But if you just say clean car, that's all I want, then you forget all those things that come into the steps into the process. So there's only so many days left. Go out and live your very best life. Make sure you like and subscribe to this for my videos, my daily videos on all aspects of life. Because this type of philosophy is definitely leaving us, and you're not going to hear it from just a person that went from the bottom, that's still on his way to the top and has a long way to go. But with these processes and focusing on the basics, I know that I will get there and reach my goals and my dreams in the very near future. So until next time, guys, take care.